Good evening all, and welcome back to my second video of the night. It's Saturday night. It has been a scorcher today, hasn't it, boys and girls? It's Saturday the 29th of June, and it's been about 1 million degrees outside. It's been an absolute inferno out there, and that is the clue to the beer. It is Oakham Inferno. It's a blonde ale, and it describes itself as being clean, fresh and hoppy, and it is hopped with, and it's got a list on top, a pretty big list. You've got Sterling, Amarillo, Cascade, Centennial and Chinook hops. So you've got a lot going on in terms of flavour. You've got some kind of more modern style hops. You've got some more, shall we say, vintage style hops. We're in for a bit of a taste bonanza here, really, aren't we? Now, I have tried Inferno before, just never got round to doing a video review. Most of the time, because I've been 3 sheets to the wind when I've been imbibing it, and the video would have been basically me slurring. So, what can I tell you about Inferno? Well, it's 4.4%. It is a blonde ale, as we've already covered, and we've covered off the list of hops. And it says, Oakham's brewing team have been visiting the USA hop fields for many years in search of the best quality hops. Inferno's unique flavour comes from 5 carefully selected hop varieties from the Yakima Valley. And we've already listed them, but we'll do it again. Sterling, Amarillo, Centennial, Cascade and Chinook. A light golden beer with a big personality, bursting with fruity hop flavours, citrus notes and a refreshing finish. And yeah, there we are. That is a description. That's the bottle. Let's get her open and have a bit of a taste for the old Witchwood Goblins tasting night, because that's why I'm doing this particular beer right now, this very minute. So, having the Hobgoblin glass, we're going to pour. And as expected, it is pale, and this one is for you, Paul. I'm going to purposefully not concentrate as much as I can on the pour, as I did on the Scarlet and Core video I released earlier on today. There we are. So that's the beer. It is. There's a tiny bit of fridge haze on that. It is kept nice and cold, because I find the hoppy beers taste better cold as cold can be, with the occasional exception where it mutes the flavour. So it's a little bit of fridge haze, but otherwise clear, golden straw coloured. We have about a finger's worth of white head. It's a little bit marshmallow-like. For those who are interested, that is a close-up of the head. Let's have a whiff. Now, hay fever is muting my senses somewhat, but it's hoppy, it's malty, it's sweet, it's a little bit fruity, a little bit peppery. It smells like a good beer, because it is a good beer. Let's have a taste. It's typical of the style. The hops are there. They are dominant, shall we say, over the malt. The malt is there. It is in the background, as in my opinion it should be. On a beer of this style, it should lend a little something to it, but not go OTT and dominate the profile. The hops here sing. They're light, they're fruity, they're a little bit zesty. There's a little tiny little bit of a hint of something spicy. And the malt just sits there in the background and just lets itself be content with being in the background until the hops fade and the finish comes in, and it sits there sweet on the tongue. It's nice. You've got a medium body at best. It's not heavy, but it's not sort of watery or anything like that. And all in all, Inferno is a very good beer. Now, I like it a lot. I've drunk quite a few of them over the years, and it goes down well every time. And that leads me nicely to a score. Would I buy Oakham Inferno again? Well, it stands to reason. I've bought it quite a lot over the years, so yes, I would. Is it one that I would rush out and buy again? It's a good question. I do. I do buy it fairly regularly, even though I don't report it as such on various groups. And I can't remember what I've given it on Untapped before. And apologies if I'm appearing distant and looking down. I'm looking at the old Dog and Bone to load up the Untapped and see what I've scored it, if indeed I have. I can't remember. Oakham Inferno. I have scored it. And I did score it pretty much what I was thinking. I've scored it 4 out of 5. I've only checked into it twice. But here's an interesting thing, right? On average, over 11,000 check-ins, it's got an average of 3.49 out of 5, which is pretty good, let's be honest. Of my friends who've checked into this beer, they rate it 3.3. I gave it a little bit more than that. I gave it a 4, and there is the old flickery screen because of the refresh rate on the camera is 1/60th of a second. And obviously the screen on the phone is not quite matched up to that. But there we are, 4. So yeah, I mean, I buy it relatively regularly. I wouldn't say it's a go-to, but it is a very good beer nonetheless. And on the plus side, it's easily available. Interestingly, unlike the Scarlet Macaw and Green Devil and a few other of the Oakham offerings, which are, in my personal opinion, a little bit nicer than Inferno. Scarlet Macaw, which is one of the 3 official testing beers for tonight, I rate a bit higher than this. It's got a little bit more punch to it over Inferno. But where Inferno is working really well for me tonight is it's light and refreshing. And on a day like today, as Kerry in the group has already said, it has been an Inferno, hasn't it, really? Let's be honest. It's been a scorcher. It's been scorchio! So there we are. I'm starting to waffle. I'm going to go and enjoy this beer and encode the video and stick it up for you because it is tasting Night Goblins, and it would be rude of me to wait weeks and weeks and weeks and stick it in the pile of videos that are yet to be uploaded to the old tube review. So on that note, Goblins, each and every one of you out there, enjoy your Inferno if you've got it. Otherwise, enjoy all your official testing beers of the night, and indeed the other ones as well. Cheers, guys. Bye.